Hello everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom and welcome back for part 2 of game week number 32 championship preview show. If you are in the chat, make yourself known, especially if you are a fan of one of the teams playing tonight. Obviously 6 games last night in the championship. We won't do any kind of reviews and mention some stuff in passing, but I'll do the full review after the game week's finished. So this is the preview for the second part, but just to say, it was Barnsley 0, Birmingham 1, Blackburn 3, Hull 0, Brentford 1, Leeds 1, Forest 0, Charlton 1, Swansea 0, QPR 0, Wigan 2, Borough 2. So really good night for Charlton down the bottom there, with Wigan drawing. Gaps really opened up. Birmingham's good form continued. Really bad night for Barnsley. That is all I'll say about last night. I'm sure it will come up. Let's talk about tonight's games, and we have the leaders in action. Luke says the curse of Leeds not winning in London goes on. Yes, it does, but hey, no defeat. When that goal went in last night, I thought, okay, here we go again, but they did get the equaliser this time, Leeds. But we've got to talk about West Brom, because West Brom are top of the table and they are off to Reading standard Reading kickoff times as well, so they'll be 15 minutes behind everybody, kicking off at 8 o'clock. With that draw for Leeds last night, it is another chance for West Brom to extend. Obviously, they put 3 points on Leeds. 6 points on the last 2 game weeks, haven't they? Leeds have drawn already. They're 3 points behind, so we could see that gap increase, although there is Fulham. No games for me tonight, gentlemen. Charlie, who is a Reading fan, says massive test tonight. It is a massive test. I thought West Brom were good. I saw them in the flesh at Millwall on Sunday. Pereira being back makes a lot of difference. The rest of the team is starting to pick itself. They were playing with reserve fullbacks, so we'll see if anything happens with either of those first choice fullbacks, Gibbs, Ferguson. I think there was the injury thing on deadline day that's probably still doing Ferguson. Interesting story, that one worth checking out. Reading, not good in the form stakes at the moment. They're down in 16th, 4 points from the last 6, no wins in those games. Animation says, was O'Shea good? It's actually hard to say. I can't tell you. They did a good job with O'Shea of not letting him get exposed, let's just say. So I think he was well marshalled and it was hard to tell. But obviously popped up with the winning goal, didn't he? But in terms of his defensive show, look, I didn't notice him do anything wrong. So I'll say no more on that one. You would expect West Brom 2 wins on the bounce if this is the West Brom that we were seeing before the bad run before Christmas, to go and win. It is a 3-game week and Bilic has rotated, but there's a lot of personnel in that 3 off the front now, even without Dejan Garner. But there's Kravinovic, there's Phillips, who didn't start at the weekend, there's Edwards, who didn't start at the weekend, and then obviously Pereira, who is excellent, Callum Robinson, who's come in on loan, and Grzycki, who didn't start. So you would think some rotation, and you would think that West Brom will get the win tonight. Charlie, the Reading fan, says Reading 1, West Brom 3. There you go. That says a lot, doesn't it? Dean says Charlie Austin. Yeah, Charlie Austin indeed. Actually, Robson Kanu, I know it was horrible conditions on Sunday, did miss a couple of chances that you think Austin would have put one of those chances away. Next, we're just talking about Millwall, and it's Millwall versus Fulham. And last night, if Fulham could have written the results, other than maybe Brentford and Leeds not scoring and drawing 0-0, they had it perfect, because you had Forest losing at home to Charlton and you had Leeds and Brentford drawing, which was perfect results for for Millwall, not for Millwall, for Fulham, wasn't it? They're sat in that gap, and with a win tonight, Fulham will go into second place, and that will seem like the first time in forever that top two has changed. Fulham on really good form, win-win draw, win-win. Mitro back in the team, and obviously I think he's been back 2 games, scored in both, hasn't he? So Millwall just dropping off slightly, 1 point in the last 3. I think we can give them a pass at the weekend because of the conditions, although West Brom did play that one well. Pressure's on Fulham now, though, tonight, isn't it? Leeds have had it a lot, the pressure on them. We will see. Eric Clacton says, saw the analogues in Amsterdam. Superb. Interesting. Sounds good. Always fun. Trip to Amsterdam, hey? Trip to the cafe in Amsterdam, let's just say. Fulham Millwall. Oh, this is a tricky one. I'll sit on the fence and say a draw on the basis that the pressure is going to be on there. Dean says, yeah, Fulham win would take them second indeed. I don't see Millwall winning. Let's go for the draw and sit on the fence there. Who is next as we work our way down the table? It's going to be the Bristol City game, isn't it? Yeah, so Bristol City at home to Derby. That's a difficult one to call as well. Bristol City losing on, Craig says, another Derby away win. There you go. So Derby got their first away win in ages at Swansea, didn't they? And Bristol City lost at home to Birmingham, didn't they, on Friday night, having won 4 games on the trot. I don't know whether we see Naki Wells, whether Lee Johnson changes his system and plays 2 up top, because Jeju has been sitting in there playing well. Derby are in really good form. If they add away wins to their excellent home record, they are going to move up the table. Luke says 2-0 Bristol City. Animation points out that Millwall lost 4-0 at Fulham. That feels a long time ago with Harris. He got a bit ultra defensive, didn't he, and sat back and let Fulham have the ball all game. I don't see Rowett doing that today. Back to, Bristol City and Derby. Derby can't do 2 straight away wins, can they? Go on, let's go for a Derby away win. Let's say there's actually something happening at Derby and Koku's actually got them clicked. Now they can keep the ball. Now they've got Rooney in there with Holmes. Seems a good partnership, doesn't it? Waghorn up the top. Tom Lawrence playing well as well. Noel says great win, although crap game for Birmingham last night. On a roll, Scott Hogan indeed. Yeah, he scored in every game for Birmingham so far. We'll do the review probably tomorrow night at some point. Right, who is next? Game number 4 we have. It's got to be Cardiff, isn't it? Huddersfield versus Cardiff, 2 relegated teams. Cardiff had snuck up to 8th, and they can do so again with a win. As I say, snuck being the operative word. I remember looking at the table the other day and thinking, when did Cardiff appear there? Well, they've scored 9 points in their last 5, so nearly hitting the 2 points per game. They're unbeaten. 7 points from the last 3 is obviously 2 points per game, so that be very, very decent. Down the bottom, this gap now is so not good for Barnsley, is it? Last night Barnsley lost and Charlton won, and that gap went up to 11 points down there. Charlie says low scoring, Huddersfield 0-1. I guess he's going for the away win there, is he? I don't know which way around. Luke said he's had 10 quid on Huddersfield to win 3-0. Is he mad or a genius? This will be quite a binary answer. It will be one of the two, because if it doesn't happen, you're mad. And if it does, you are a genius. We'll see. I don't see it being 3-0. Cardiff are very draw heavy. It will be low scoring, won't it? Might even be 0-0, mightn't it? But things they're going adrift, aren't they? Those bottom 3. other teams picking up points. Stoke particularly in very good form down there. Let's go for a dullard 0-0 draw. I can't see Huddersfield winning for some reason. I'm just not seeing that today, but hey, I've been wrong many times. And we better go on to Sheffield Wednesday, who are away to Luton. Hey, I could have gone to that one, couldn't I? But I'm absolutely knackered after doing Brentford and then a full day's work today. So I will, I'll sit and watch from afar. Luton, obviously, when we talk about adrift, are the most adrift of anybody, bottom of the league. Although a win would take them off the bottom. Martin says Danny Hilton back hoping for some goals for Luton. Where had he been, Martin? Smart me up on that one. Dean says Luton surprise win. Charlie's gone for Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday are not in good form. 2 points from the last 4. They've really dropped off. I remember Sheffield Wednesday going second. They beat somebody 1-0 on Sky. I did the game. I think it's Bristol City, wasn't it? And they went second. And I did a review of the game. And they must have really, that was probably 8 to 10 games ago. They must have really dropped off since. H. Huss says, I think Bamford is the least liked player in the Championship. You won't get any arguments from me. A lot of people against them. Hilton out for a year injured, says Martin. Interesting, because obviously Collins and Cornick do a nice job up front for Luton. Still put in a fair few goals, haven't they? 37. It's just the goals against for Luton, absolute killer. I went for Sheffield Wednesday to beat Barnsley at the weekend and they didn't. They drew. So come on then, let's go for it. Let's go for a silly one. Let's go for Wednesday to stink it out. Luton, let's even go for Martin's guy Hilton to do something. Although he'll probably only be on the bench, won't he? Let's go for a rare win for Luton. Let's go. I think we're on the last one now. And that is Stoke versus Preston. I should have done that one earlier, shouldn't I? Sorry, I missed Preston out. There you go. Preston are in 6th. We remember Bristol City chasing. Blackburn closed up last night. Swansea did not. Cardiff could close tonight. So good results for Preston last night, actually. If you look, Forest and Brentford, they can get within a point, can't they? So where is this game? Let me remind myself. It is at Stoke, and Stoke are on good form, aren't they? Look at that, 4 wins in 6. They must be near the top of the form table with that 13 points from Stoke. Yeah, Charlie says 0-2 for Preston. He thinks Preston playoff winners. You wouldn't fancy the away leg in the playoffs at Preston, would you? But with this game being at Stoke, I don't see Preston winning, although Johnson seems to be making them tick in his return. Let's sit on the fence then and go for a draw, even though neither team likes a draw, do they? Stoke only 4 draws all season. Luke says Preston will lose and not get back in the playoffs. So look, there's some predictions thrown out for tonight. Andrew says if Fulham win and West Brom lose, Fulham go 1 point off the top. Do I reckon Fulham could go all the way and win the league? God, that'd come out of nowhere, wouldn't it? If Fulham did win it. Yeah, he's right actually. That would be quite the swing, those 2 results going in their favour. Stranger things have happened, haven't they? And we've been saying for a while, this is the time where someone goes on a silly run, doesn't it? So there you go. All I'll say is stranger things have happened. It would be quite the run for them to do it, wouldn't it? We seem to have bracketed West Brom and Leeds together and Fulham and Brentford together. So we'll see if anyone can slide in there. Russ says, hi Ben, thoughts on Kiko Casilla? He's not having a very good time of it at the moment, is he? But I think Bielsa's very stubborn and very loyal and will stick with him. And, tens and tens of times per game, he does that back pass and that control. And yeah, just an aberration last night, wasn't it? I'd be more worried about him on corners, really. Right, someone asked about Jude Bellingham. I can say Baptiste and Fosu came on. H. Huss asked about Bielsa replicating Nuno. Someone asked about Naki Wells. I'll try and remember all of these. Naki Wells, I think, is going to get less chances at Bristol City than he will at QPR. So I think he can score for Bristol City. Don't think he's going to score at the same rate as he did for QPR, who were very attacking. Do I think Bielsa can do a Nuno? Not quite, because Wolves will put in way more money than Leeds will, but then again they'll get the TV money and maybe the American investors will stick a little bit more in. But no, Wolves are with Fosun really going for it, aren't they? But I think Leeds would be fine in the Premier League with Bielsa and 100 million TV money. I don't think they'd do quite what Sheffield United have done, but I think they would do better than Villa are doing this season. Charlie asked, do I think the Ipswich fans were right to, I can't quite see the whole comment there, slag the team off? Yes, Ipswich not playing well at all. Fulham have Barnsley Saturday, could cement Barnsley. Yes, it could, couldn't it? That gap is really getting bigger, and you can see Charlton 2 wins kind of out of nowhere after their form has really done for Barnsley, haven't it, with the bad form. Who do I think will be promoted this season? God, $1 million question, isn't it? Teams to get relegated to the Championship, asks Luke. Well, definitely Norwich. There's no bias with my Ipswich hat on, but they seem to be adrift, don't they? I struggle to name the other two. Promotion, whoever asked, is just too hard to say. Noel asked, Jude Bellingham. Yeah, Bellingham, absolutely brilliant. The fact that he's doing what he's doing at that age, we've always said, I mean, John, who's in the chats often, was telling me about him before this season even started. So it's just a matter of when they sell and getting the right price. But he looks fantastic, doesn't he? Best January signings, got to be Hogan so far, hasn't it? 3 in 3 on loan. Why couldn't he do it at Stoke? Langley asked thoughts on Swift. Swift has really stepped up, hasn't he? I don't think a Premier League team would take him, but certainly every time I watch Reading highlights, he's always making the key pass or the assist. So yeah, really impressed with Swift this season. Animation asked, will Wigan go down? Yes, I think they will. I think this Charlton 2 wins in the last 3 really is going to make a difference come the end of the season. I don't think Charlton will finish 6 points above Wigan, but I also don't see Wigan catching Stoke and Huddersfield. Someone asked about Bella. Yeah, that's been a very good signing. That went through. Favourite Championship game I've seen in person this season? Oh, crikey. I really enjoyed Leeds on the opening day. Took apart Bristol City. I thought Leeds would get about 100 points at that point. Really enjoyed, God, these were all early in the season. Luton and Middlesbrough, that was brilliant. That was 3-3, absolute carnage, loads of mistakes. Luton back in the league for the first game. I'm trying to think if I've seen anything that's bettered that. Probably one of those really early games. I can't think off the top of my head, but there's a nice convenient on the YouTube channel. All the match reviews are in there, so I'm sure. Best stadium I've ever visited for a Championship game, says Luke. I do love Villa Park, I have to say. We had Villa down for a couple of years, so. Am I at Brentford on Saturday? I don't know. Our dogs are going on an open day thing, so I will have an opportunity to get to a game on Saturday. And I don't have one planned, so I was thinking about doing Ipswich v Burton, but I don't know if I can be bothered given the results last night. So Andrew says, was I at Fulham for Millwall 0-8? I was on holiday for that. I would love to have seen it, but there we go. How has Hector played so far? Asked Neil. I think he's been very good, hasn't he? I think Ream and Mawson were a little bit flaky. Graham Jones predicts the Great Escape. Well, Luton are 10 points off it now. And yeah, whoever said it earlier, you can start to stick a fork in a couple of these teams soon. We're going to be getting up to 10 games to go soon. Well, I mean, by the end of the week, it's going to be 13 left. If that gap, when it's 10 points, really struggles, doesn't it? Andrew says Van Dijk has photos of Hector in his bedroom. There we go. The Van Dijk of the Championship. Maybe not. We will see. I think Van der Horn. 5 clean sheets and 6 since Hector's arrived. Russ says he thinks the current bottom 3 are going down. Luton and Barnsley look a long way adrift. Langley says, I'm hoping Kimbe starts today. Who's that for? Smarten me up on that. Noel says, my thoughts on Pep Clotet. Very, very unsure, very inconsistent, but they're doing great at the moment. Look at the form at the moment. Win, draw, draw, win, win, win. So, yeah, not sold, but something there, isn't there? Luke says it's going to be the best ever ending to a championship season. Yeah, nobody's streaking away. Langley says the Reading new winger. Well, let me know. Let me know how he plays. Be interested to know. Yeah, and we're all waiting for this team to win 6 games in a row, aren't we? And shoot out. And right on Q Andrew last, who's going to be the team in mid-table late burst? I don't know if it's going to be. I can't see Wednesday, Millwall, Cardiff, Swansea, Blackburn doing the big burst. I think it might either be Preston or Bristol City. I can't see anyone coming up. The real wild card will be Derby. They're in the best form of any of those teams. Birmingham actually as well, but they're too far back. Ask Gary Monk what he thinks of Pep. Yeah, I think we know that's a little bit frosty, don't we? Right, I will bid you guys farewell. Thanks for all the questions and the attendance in the stream. Really, really helps me out, especially things like that, knowing about a new Reading winger and things of that nature and fixtures coming up. So really, really appreciate everybody involved in the chat. I'll try and do the review. 3 game weeks are hard, man. Everything goes there. Darkstar asked, did Augustine impress last night? Didn't really have enough time, but interesting to see him coming on. It's about 74 minutes he came in. Will Bielsa ever drop Bamford, who maybe he never will, but be interesting to see what happened if Nketiah used to get 45 whole minutes. Be interesting to see if Augustine got a whole half. Right, thank you everybody in the stream. I'll try and do reviews. Yeah, I've got Luke says no more Leeds games. I haven't got any in the diary, but just to throw out there, last game of the season, I may well be working in Leeds the night before on the Friday night, so if I'm there, makes sense to go to the game, wouldn't it? I'm sure Leeds fans won't want me there if they're playing for the title. Ewan says Derby are going to finish 6th. He sounds confident there. 6th place is up for grabs. Like I said, Derby and Birmingham in form, but a long, long way back. Right, I'll bid you all farewell, and we'll try and get the review out tomorrow night to keep consistent. Luke says I'll meet you for a chat. He's going to, at that point, steal my wallet and burn my ticket if he meets me for a chat outside the ground. But yes, of course, if I'm at anybody's games, please do DM me or on Twitter, on Instagram or what have you, and we'll meet up. Dean says West Brom's last game of the season against QPR. No one likes to watch another team's promotion party, do they? Hey, right, I've said goodbye about 5 times. I always do this. I will bid you all farewell, over and out. See you tomorrow or Friday for the review, depending on what happens with my sanity tomorrow. Here we go. See you all later. Bye.